called candy cane. Did you know? It grows like these lovely straps.
And I know there's... What? Hi, we're just busy making a list of what we're going to plant tomorrow.
Capsicum giant blocky.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Candy cane.
That's a fun one. I didn't realize I actually bought that one. This one is called cucumber isnick.
Yeah, Mom. Mama, look. Mama, what's it growing?
That one looks like a green pepper, hasn't it?
Green pepper?
Let's quickly see. Oh, it's going to be a sweet yellow. Capsicum sweet yellow.
That one looks like this.
We got 3 peppers then. You got a shirt on, Peaches? Yeah. So what you got, Emma? You've got blueberries. So we got 2 blueberries.
Some raspberries and
Emma, what you got? Blueberry.
blueberry.
You got petunias.
I got petunias. I got petunias.
That's right. Okay, is there space on that? Hi guys, how's it going? Today we got some planting done. So we've had a few days off. Emma was sick, and when she's sick I just have to carry her around and sit with her and be with her, and I can't get any gardening done. So she went back to school today and I got stuck into the garden. On the weekend we went to the garden centre and we looked for a few just fruits or veggies that we enjoy eating, so that we can put that into the garden. We have obviously got a lot of flowers growing at the moment, but not that many edibles, so we thought now would be a good time to try and get a few more things in the ground that we can eat. And also just the joy that the children had when they did the spud harvest really encouraged us to get more things planted that they can go out and pick, because it was just, they were squealing like pigs. They were just so delighted when we were doing that. So we went to the garden centre and we got a cucumber plant, we got 3 capsicums, a green one, an orange one, and then one called candy stripe, which looks pretty cool. It's an ornamental type. We'll see how that goes. And we also went and got 2 blueberry plants and a blackberry, as well as raspberry. So I was really waiting just to get these guys in the ground. It's been 4 days since we bought them, so I've just been keeping them watered. I ended up pulling out 2 of my dahlia cactuses that I was growing. You know, I grew them from seed and they really just weren't bringing me any joy. They were quite boring and they didn't last very long on the plant. It would open and one day later it would drop its leaves. So it just was taking up space and I don't have a lot of space. So I decided to pull those 2 and that created some more space. The first thing I planted was the cucumber plant. Now I've grown this before and I was not very successful. I grew I think it's also like quite an ornamental type. It's round and yellow like an apple. I got 1 fruit off of that and that was it, and after that nothing really happened. So I'm trying again this year with just a standard cucumber and putting it in a sunnier position. And I just wanted to go over with you how I plant my plants, because some people have been asking me for some tips, and I plant things the way my grandmother taught me. Now, the first thing is dig a big enough hole. Obviously, you need your hole to be deep enough so that you can add some compost into the hole, and then when you put your plant on top, you want it to be flush with the top of the soil. So you want to maybe fiddle around with that. If you put your plant in and you see it sticking out the top of the flower bed, then your hole's not deep enough and you want to make your hole deeper. Or if you put your little plant in the hole and you see it's going down too low, you just add a bit more soil and lift it up. So today what I did was I added sheep pellets as well. I had 2 bags of sheep pellets that I planned on throwing throughout the garden, and I just never ever did it. So I decided to add sheep pellets because when I was researching how to plant the blueberries, I saw that to add sheep pellets. So I just decided to go ahead and add that to all of the fruits and veggies that I planted today. So I dug a hole, threw in a handful of sheep pellets, a scoop full of compost on top of that. Then I add water and I wait for the water to drain. Put my plant in, make sure it's all nice and level, and just pat it down really well. And then I go in and I water again. And that way I know my plant is nice and tight in the ground. It's got compost waiting for it, and now sheep pellets as well, these ones that I've planted today, and it's going into a nice moist environment, and hopefully it'll be super successful. I'm also mindful of the weather on days that I plant. Today's really overcast, it's not too hot or sunny, and the reason for that is I don't want my plants to really go into shock and just have the hottest day of their lives the day that I move them out of their pots. So that's sort of my thinking. Also, that might rain tonight, which is even better. It gives my plants a really good start in life. And I did do a little cucumber cage. So you just do 4 little stakes, wrap it with twine at the top and then attach it. I saw that on YouTube, so we'll give it a go. And then I went ahead and I did my capsicums, which are green peppers, or red peppers or yellow peppers or whatever pepper. Where we come from, we call them peppers. Yeah, they call them capsicums. And that was really straightforward process. I also planted more flowers today. I have so many flowers that I've started from seed, and I've looked after them, and now they're little seedlings and they want to go in the ground, and I just don't know where to put them. I've run out of flower beds, so I just started to squeeze things in anywhere that I could. So today I managed to get some snapdragons in the ground, as well as rudbeckia, phlox as well, and I think I might have put some celosia in the ground too. So just anywhere where I saw a little gap, I popped another plant in the ground, because I want to have a magnificent flower garden. And also, the more space I take up with plants that I love, the less space will be taken up by weeds, because the garden bed's going to be full. It's either going to be filled by things that I want or by weeds, and weeding is a time-consuming, tedious task which must be done. But if I can get a flower in the ground and prevent a weed from growing, I'm going to do that whenever possible. And on the topic of weeds, I like to add mulch. So I usually use wood chips because I like the way that looks to my flower beds. So I went ahead today and did that. Because did the spud harvest and I started planting, you sort of disrupt the top layer of mulch, and then when you've got soil on top, weeds are going to come. So I had a bag of mulch, and Fatty and I just went through the garden and sort of patched up wherever we could with the one bag that we had. We'll probably need to buy a little bit more. Now the mulch not only helps suppress weeds by covering soil, it also helps to retain moisture. So when the rain comes tonight, all those wood chips hopefully are going to get really wet and swell. The soil underneath also is going to get wet if it rains enough, and then when the really hot weather comes, we'll have this cool wood chip blanket over the garden, and it helps to keep it cool, and it helps to retain the moisture in the soil, because if the sun is baking those wood chips first, it allows the soil to stay moist just a little bit longer, which is what you really want. That's how your plants are going to grow really well. So when we were finished with the circle garden, we got another planter that our friend David Hook at school made just from pallet wood, and we prepared it with cheap pellets, and then I used a strawberry mix, potting mix, because it's higher in pH, which means it's more acid. It has a higher acidity, and the berries really love that. So I put that in, and then I went and planted the 2 blueberries and the blackberry. Again, making sure that it's nice and level and flush and all the things that I've already explained. Then I went and grabbed 2 of my strawberry plants out of the planter that they were in, because I had planted 5 strawberry plants. I'm just not getting the productivity that I want out of them. They keep pushing runners and only 2 are flowering, and I really think I've overcrowded them, and that's the first mistake. And I think the second mistake is not enough sunlight. So we've moved them from where they were into a little bit of a sunnier location, and I have taken the second and the 4th plant out. So there's still 2 on the ends and 1 in the middle, and I've removed 2 and put them in that 3rd planter box. And I just trimmed off any excess things like brown leaves or runners, and I've planted them in there as carefully and lovingly as I can, and said to them, please give us some strawberries, because the children will be just delighted if they can go out in the mornings and pick some strawberries and blueberries and blackberries and raspberries and all the other things that we have planned as well. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned some good tips, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye.